As you saw, we only made one change to the squad from last camp. Noni Madueke is unfortunately injured, and Bukayo Saka takes his place. Tino Livramento is also injured, unfortunately, and out for this camp, but we had Jarell Kwanzaa with us last camp as a kind of +1 because we were not sure about John Stones and Tino in last camp, so he stays with us. That makes it 21 field players, I guess, and 3 goalkeepers. Last camp is only 3.5 weeks. What's the word like? Ago. Like only 3.5 weeks ago. Teamwork, team spirit was on the highest level so far. That's why we decided to invite the same group into this camp to make more stable what we started to build in the last camp. Are there players out who deserve to be with us? Yes, for sure. Is there a way back into this into the team through performance? 100% for sure. But at the moment, we think this is the best and most straightforward decision. Like I said in last camp, the competition is on to be in the squad. The competition is on to make it into the squad and then make it into the pitch, and that still stands.
Okay, thanks, Thomas. Now we'll turn to our broadcasters for questions about this squad and the forthcoming games. Rob Dorset.
Thomas, good to see you. Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah.
There are quite a few headline omissions from the squad, from our perspective. None bigger than
always.
Yeah, as always, but none bigger than Jude Bellingham, who's fit and playing again for Real Madrid. Why is he not here?
Well, first of all, Jude is I understand your focus on Jude, of course. First of all, he's a very special player. And for special players, there can always be special rules. I get this. But for this camp, we decided that we stick with our straightforward decision to invite the same team. That applies also then for Jude. He deserves always to be in camp. I think there's an extra layer, or like there's on top of it the situation that he has not gathered fully rhythm yet at Real Madrid. He is back in the team. He hasn't finished one full match until now. He has only started one match, so he is at the moment in the period where he gets his rhythm, where he gets back to full strength. There is this extra layer into decision, but the decision stayed for this camp.
So just to be clear, there's no fitness issue apart from maybe conditioning and his lack of games. He could have been called up. You could have selected him.
Yes, and he wanted to be called up. We had a phone call. There was no issue from that side. He just lacks rhythm. He hasn't finished one complete match, like I said. And on top of it, we stayed to our decision to go with the same squad.
You know how us in the media are, and you know how the fans are.
Yeah.
And you'll know what the optics look like a little bit here, because look, you had that unfortunate incident where you admitted yourself you didn't perhaps use the best choice of words back in June.
Yeah.
When you said that your mum sometimes is repulsed by him. Look, you cleared that up.
Thanks for repeating.
I'm sorry to drag it up again.
Yeah.
And you know, you explained English isn't your first language and you'd have used the words differently.
Good.
But then you've also stressed today that the mood in the camp was great last time. In the most recent camp.
One has nothing to do with the other.
I suppose that's what I'm asking, because you can see how people will start thinking, is there a problem between Thomas Tuchel and Jude Bellingham here?
No, there's also no problem between me and Phil Foden. There's no problem between me and Jack Grealish. Very special players. Phil is back to influencing games, deciding games for Manchester City. Jack is very close to be the best version of himself. Very special player, very special character. There's no problem at all, and there's no personal problem in a nomination.
Thank you.
Hi, Thomas. You just touched on it there. Jack Grealish and Phil Foden both getting back to their best form, and you said there's a way back through performance into the squad. What would they have to do to make that step to break back into the
Just
squad?
keep on pushing. Listen, this is not like to. It is a decision for this camp. It was, like I said, it was the best camp in terms of team spirit, in terms of and teamwork. This was the best camp so far. So we decided to invite the same group of players to build on, to make more stable what we built on. Czech is in a very good moment. Phil is in a very good moment. Adam Wharton deserves to be with us. Curtis Jones gets his minutes at Liverpool. Trevor Chalobah plays. So there are some players who deserve to be with us. Cole Palmer is injured. A very special player, very special character and player who decides matches and can be special player for us. This will always be like this. I think in any single nomination we will have these cases that can be endlessly discussed and can be decided in any way. But for this camp, we wanted to make it a straightforward decision and stay with the same group because the group deserved to be in camp on the basis what they did last camp.
And with Jude Bellingham not being in the squad, you said that he wanted to come. There's probably been a couple of slightly awkward conversations maybe with him. I just wondered how
no, it's
they
not
have been.
awkward conversation. It's just straightforward conversations. Straightforward conversations. Give your reason, explain your reasons, and then that's that. It's not awkward. You have to. This is necessary to have these conversations. It's part of a job, and the conversation are not awkward. They're straightforward. They're not the nicest ones because it's always nicer to give good news. But it has to be done in person, and we have reasons to decide so, and the players have to accept it.
Hi Thomas, a player who is in the squad, Myles Lewis-Skelly, hasn't started for Arsenal in the Premier League this season, did start in the Champions League this week. But if that situation continues...
Start.
If that situation continues for the rest of the season, is that a problem for you and him?
It's then maybe becomes a problem for him, yeah. To just be a good citizen in camp will not be enough over the course of a year. He was a very good player in camp, a very good teammate in camp. But to just be a good teammate in camp can maybe not be enough to stay the whole year with us. There is, of course, you have to perform on club level on a regular basis. At the moment, in last camp, he got the credit. He got the credit that I was convinced that we have to take care of him and nominate him because we accelerated his career. It was our responsibility to call him in camp first place like last season, at the end of last season. So we stick to this. He was now part of a very successful camp, so he gets the reward for that. But as you remember, he was not part of the 20-man squad in the match in Serbia. Still, his behavior was outstanding, even if he was not part of the squad. His training attitude, his attitude to push and support the guys who were on the pitch was outstanding and on highest level. So, he's maybe one of the players who benefits from this decision to stick with the same squad, but the performance will be also key factor in the next month.
You've used
so
a lot.
He benefits also from the proximity of the camps that it's only 3 weeks ago.
You've used a lot of players so far. I mean, some of that's down to injuries, some of that's down to choices. But as we move through the camps and get closer to next summer, will you look to have a more consistent group? And could we run out of time for players like grealish, like Foden, who haven't been in the squad?
Well, we do now. Yeah, we do now. It's a change in our selection. It's the World Cup year. We selected a lot of players, 35, 36 in the first two camp. I told you it was a learning from me. We reached a new level. We reached new standards for ourselves in the last camp, in the way we and I think it was clearly visible in the match at Serbia, for our fans and for us, in the way we played and the way we won. And so the question is also, why not to pick the same players? Why not to pick the same squad if they are available? So they have to prove again. They have to prove the point again. The pressure is on the players who want to be in camp, but the pressure is always on the guys who are selected. They set the standards. Now they have to make sure that that these standards become more stable, and this is the chance that they have.
James.
Hi, Thomas. Sort of following on from that, is it important, therefore, then, that sort of all the players know there are no guarantees, that nobody's guaranteed a place in any of your squads? They have to earn it every single time.
Yes, 100%. There are no guarantees.
Yeah, because I think there've been times in the past where it's felt as though some England players have just got in on reputation, but you're kind of making that clear that's just not going to happen under you.
No, you can be like you can have a tough spell in your club, but you can be reselected because what you did with us and for us. This is possible. It can be also the other way around, that it was maybe a tough camp for you, but you're performing outstanding. I think every case stays individual, but. Yeah, if we say the competition is on, then the competition is on. We cannot say like for 80% of the squad the competition is on, but for 20% it's not on. It's on. It's on. The competition is on. The team did very, very well and deserve to be in camp again.
And you've mentioned obviously the importance of team spirit a lot, which must be quite difficult to harness that when you see the players, for a few days, then you don't see them for a while, then you see them again. So how sort of delicate is that team spirit for you?
Everyone tells me, and this is my experience so far, that in international football it becomes even more relevant to the team spirit. I believe strongly that it is maybe the most important thing, even also in club football, but for sure in international football. So this group set the standards in the last camp and deserve to be in camp. Yeah, the team spirit is the key factor. In the end, we want to go to a tournament. We have to qualify first. We want to take our steps until there. We want to develop something special. And I truly believe that the fans can feel if there is a team out there that loves to play with each other, that loves to run for each other, that is there to give everything, and I think that was clearly visible in the match against Serbia. So now it's on us to follow up on that, and for that we didn't take any chances. We took a very straightforward decision to go with the same group of players.
Henry.
Hi, Thomas. Jude Bellingham has just been voted England's Player of the Year by the supporters. He kept England in the last tournament with his amazing goal against Slovakia. Can England win the World Cup without Jude Bellingham?
Listen, do I believe that we are a stronger team with Jude? Yes. Is he one of the best players in the world in midfield? Yes. But I told you last time when he was injured, what are we doing if a player like Jude is injured before the World Cup? Do we then cancel do we not travel? This is a team sport. We have to find solutions. If players are injured, like now Cole Palmer, if we don't select players, we have to find solution. And I think we found solutions in the last camp. So this is more about last camp and what we started to build than about the dependency on individual players. We can have injuries of hugely influential players, not only Jude, about Declan, Harry, John Stones, you name it. Everyone has his particular role, and it can happen right in front of the tournament. And then we have to find solutions. It can never be the solution to depend on one player in football.
And we'll finish back with Rob.
Thomas, I just wanted to pick up on something you just mentioned a moment ago. You said the onus is on the players that are here that did so well last time. Mm-hmm. Those players who want to be here, you said. Should we read into that maybe that you've had conversations with some players?
Everyone wants to be here.
So you haven't had any reluctance from some players to maybe sign up, or you've not been convinced by the commitment of some players?
No, absolutely not. And the players who are very close, that we talked about and deserve to be here, got a message from me. The message comes straight back. They wish us a good camp. They just confirm straight away. I'm disappointed, but I keep pushing. I will keep pushing. I will knock on the door. So that's it. Everyone is desperate to be in the group. Everyone is desperate to play. There's no one pulled out. Absolutely not.
And finally, there was a question that was raised with me by one of our more astute pundits, shall we say. He said, when you look at the philosophy and identity of the biggest clubs in this country, you look at Manchester City, possession-based, Liverpool, try and play with a high press, Arsenal at the moment, very solid at the back, good at set pieces. Yeah. He said, if England and your England was a club right now, what philosophy identity would that have? I thought that was a good question.
Good question. not sure if the time is enough. I think we started building an identity for our national team within the last camp. We needed some learning. We changed the structure in the first 2 camps and the idea behind it was to help the player, make it more comfortable for the players. Then I had the feeling it's maybe too much information, too much change, because we come from different clubs. They come from different systems. Crystal Palace plays very different to Liverpool, to Manchester City, and to Arsenal, and still they are very successful. So and we have players from Aston Villa. So instead of copying and instead of copying paste, I think we try to find our own principles and our own identity. We were trying this. I think we could see it in Serbia that we were playing a high. I thought we were playing like a Premier League team. We were playing with high intensity. We played a high press in the opponent's half. We played with a high ball speed. We didn't wait for the pressure of the opponent. Ball speed was a big thing for us to increase and to overcome the middle block or the deep block more fluid. So we will build on these principles because we think they're easy to learn. They're simple, easy to understand. And maybe less is more than for us. Club coaches have much more time to be deep into details and to mold their systems into the detail. It's the nature of international football that different players come from different styles and different clubs. So we try to create something for us that reflects still reflects the fans, the attitude towards the game. So we played a very emotional, we played a very, I think, courageous match and had a very courageous approach, brave approach in Serbia. And the players feel happy about this and feel also like they well represented in this kind of style. And this is what we will keep on going. We have a very complicated, very difficult match against Wales to play here, which is in itself not a friendly. So, and they are very, very well coached team. So there's a next step to go. And then very likely in Latvia, we have to break down a deep block again. So we have to be on top of our game and to take the next step.
Okay, guys, we'll conclude it there. Thanks for your time. Cheers.